8 ways to get people to respect you quickly and easily. So, I know a lot about this subject because when I was younger and I thought I was hot shit all the time, I realized that at the jobs I worked at, people didn't respect me. People didn't like me. They didn't want to be around me. They had things to say about me and opinions about me, and they weren't positive. So I learned how to get people to respect you through reading books, through self-help books, but I learned it most by studying and observing people who get respect almost immediately. And I don't really mean respect like a mafia boss where everybody's scared of you and they're scared you're going to shoot up their home if you disrespect them. That's not what I mean. I mean people who respect you where they have no desire to disrespect you. They have no ill will towards you. They have no desire to want to hurt you or to put you in a bad situation or to say something bad about you because they genuinely like you. They genuinely see you as their friend and they genuinely want the best for you. They genuinely want you to have a great life. They genuinely want you to be happy and content. That type of respect is what I'm talking about. So I noticed over the years as I studied these people, I read their books, I watched their videos, I met a few of them, I interacted with them, I worked with a few of them. I guess I unconsciously became a product of my environment because I try to mainly spend time around people who people automatically respect. You know, if I notice that there's somebody who carries themselves in a way that people don't respect them, I usually don't respect them. And I usually don't want to be around them. I don't want to spend time with them. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to have to deal with them. And that's just the way it is. It's just human nature. It's not me being mean or ugly or disrespectful. It's just human nature. Because that's what happens. When people don't respect you, they don't want to be around you. They don't want you in their house. They don't want you coming to their parties. They don't want to have to deal with you. But when people do respect you, they always want to talk to you. They enjoy talking to you. They enjoy being around you. They enjoy your friendship or companionship. They enjoy their relationship with you. They enjoy working with you. They enjoy having you as an employee. They enjoy having you as a boss. And as I always say, to get where you want to go in life, you need people and you need relationships. And at the time when people didn't respect me, this is the one thing I didn't understand. I thought that I can make it all the way through life on my own. F the world. Who cares what people think? I'm me. I'm a badass. I'm a baller. Blah, blah, blah. And I learned the hard way that people who get a lot of respect, the number one thing they have is they have great relationships with everybody. And especially this one guy named Ron I used to work for. He was like the big boss. And I just love talking to this guy every day. And I learned so much from him. And even to this day, 15 years later, he knows thousands and thousands of people. I have never once heard anybody say anything about him. You bring up his name, the response is always, oh my God, I love that guy. He's awesome. Or I really respect that guy. So here's how to get those same results in your life. 8 ways. Number 1, always be polite and respectful first. So no matter how far above or below you, below you that you perceive the other person to be, you always start off your interaction with respect. If it's a homeless man, just because he's homeless, you don't disrespect him. He's still a person. You talk to him the same way you would talk to the CEO of your company, which is you're not being disrespectful and you're not kissing your ass. You're right here with them. You're eye level. And that's not really a height thing. I don't know why I said that. But you are on the same level with them. In order to have people be polite to you and respect you, you must first be polite and courteous and show respect first. When you approach people the wrong way or you don't show respect first, I mean, it could be a lifetime of disrespect from the other person just because first impressions are that important. So whenever you meet somebody, it doesn't matter what your opinion is of them. If you have to interact with them, you do it respectfully because it shows that you're a person of class and value, that you're a high caliber person and you respect yourself. Number two, always remain calm and composed. So I notice a lot of people who get disrespected and people don't respect them, especially in my industry. One of the main things they all have in common is they are not in control of their emotions. Feelings and emotions come up, and what do? Boom, they react to them, and they just start going off. And what does it do? It makes people not want to be around them. It makes people not like them. It's off-putting. It's like, oh my God, here comes Bob. Here coming to complain about his wife again or cooking or whatever, you know. Bob doesn't keep control of his emotions, and it makes people not want to be around him. It makes people not respect him. Another trait of people that I've seen that everybody respects them, no matter the situation, they are always calm and composed. In between stimulus and response, they take the time to think about what they're going to say or do. They don't just blindly react to what's going on within them because they know it makes them look weak. And they're not going to do that. People don't respect you if you come across as weak and helpless. Number three, which is what I just said, don't look or sound weak. So one of the main ways to look or sound weak is to not be in control of your emotions. You can be skinny and frail and you can't curl a 5-pound dumbbell. But if you carry yourself with mental toughness and mental strength, and you're not emotional and you don't react to emotions and you're calculating and you take time to think about what you're going to say and do, you will have everybody's respect. And I know this for sure. I used to work for a guy named Rick. We called him a pregnant green bean because he was tall and skinny and had a little belly, right? I don't know why they call him a green bean, but he had a belly. And he looked weak and frail, like he was sick or something. It's like, why aren't you in the hospital? Right? So when you first see him, you're like, what is this? You know, but within a minute, that's all it takes. Within a minute of talking to this guy, number one, you realize this ain't the person to mess with. Let's get that off the table right now. This is not the person to mess with. And number two, he has your respect within 1 minute because of the way he speaks. Because your emotions come through. Weakness and strength come through by the look on your face, the look in your eyes, your voice tone, the way you hold yourself, the way you speak, the way you handle things. It's all a direct reflection of the emotions going on inside your mind. You can't hide it. You can't be an emotional little wuss all the time and try to act like a tough guy and everybody's going to respect you. It doesn't work. It has to be genuine. This guy was genuine. He was the real deal. I later on learned that he was a helicopter gunner in Vietnam. He was the dude who sat on the door was on the helicopter was open, and he sat with his legs sticking out, and he had a big old machine gun on him. And he was the first person that the Viet Cong shot at. So his life expectancy was 20 seconds. So he told me that he had to learn how to quit giving a crap really fast because his life depended on it. He lived through it, obviously, either through luck or whatever else, because that was a horrible situation. But people respect you when you don't show weakness, and most of it is simply by controlling your emotions and having your act together. Number 4, get on the same page and be a team player. So this is kind of along the lines of at your job, or when you're part of a team, or you're part of a project, or you're part of an effort, or whenever you're part of any group of people. Number one, get on the same page, and number two, be a team player. So when you show up or you're around for a while and people notice that you want to do your own thing, you don't care what other people are doing, you want to do your own thing, and you don't want to be a team player, nobody's going to respect you. When everybody goes to lunch or they go out or they're away from you, they're going to talk about you. They're going to be like, what's up with Bob over here? Bob seems like he doesn't want to be here. Bob seems like he's too good for this group. He thinks he's above doing what everybody else is doing. He doesn't want to be part of his team. He thinks he's smarter than everybody. He thinks he's better than everybody, that the rules don't apply to him. People don't respect you when you are not on the same page and you do not want to be a team player. Number 5, don't act stuck up or too good, which is along the lines of number 4. When you act stuck up and like you're too good for a person or a group of people, their first knee-jerk reaction is, number 1, I don't like him. And number 2, when people don't like you, they don't respect you, right? Again, like I said, it's not the type of the respect that comes with people fearing you. It's the type of respect that comes with people liking you. So in order for people to respect you, they have to like you. And nobody likes you when you act stuck up or you're too good. Number 6, don't give anyone ammo. This is kind of, well, at least the way I'm thinking about it. This is along the lines of like showing up to work late, missing days, not getting things done in time, not doing your job, doing a shitty job. When you're giving people ammo, right? It's like, why don't you respect Bob? Well, Bob doesn't get here on time. Everybody gets here on time, but he doesn't. He's always here late every day, and he comes in here strolling in here like it's no big deal, like time is on his side, like the clock has to watch him instead of him watching the clock. That doesn't make people respect you. I know that 100% for sure. Missing days, when everybody is humping it and everybody's working hard to get a job done and it matters, and you miss days and you're not there, and then you come and show up like, oh, well, what did I miss? And like you're too important for it, you're not going to get anybody's respect. Everybody's going to think that you're an asshole, that you're self-indulged, you're narcissistic, that you don't care about being a team player, and that you're above doing what everyone else is doing. You're not going to be part of the team. People are not going to respect you. Number 7, make people feel important by listening. So what I learned in the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, which if you're trying to get people to respect you, you're trying to influence them to respect you, right? It shouldn't be a goal of yours. It should just be a byproduct of the way you carry yourself. But what I learned in that book is when you spend all your time talking about yourself, not only does it make people not like you, but it makes them not want to be around you. Because what makes people like you is when you are a good listener and you make them feel important and you make them feel understood and you make them feel valued and you make them feel you're on the same page with them. All you got to do, close your mouth and just listen. Just be a good listener. Ask people questions. How are you doing? And then let them talk. How was your weekend? Let them talk. You don't let them say 2 sentences and then cut them off. Well, let me tell you about my weekend. Doesn't work that way. What you do is you're a good listener. You say, no way, that sounds great. So what did you do then? Well, how was that? How did that make you feel? Oh, that's great. And you make them feel that you're about them. You would be surprised how many people don't do this and how easy it is to get the respect of everyone around you when you have the habit of, when you are interacting with people, you make it one-sided in a good way. which is the good way is you are a great listener. You get people to talk and you make them feel that you genuinely care about what they're saying and you're interested in what they're saying and you're on the same page with them. It makes them feel important and it just makes them feel special. So I used to do this when I was single and I would go out with girls. I would just ask them questions and just let them talk my head off. And I would never say a single word about myself. And if they ask questions, I would give them a short answer and turn it back around on them. And what would they say almost every single time? This is one of the best dates I've ever been on in my whole life. Why? Because I just let them talk my head off and I was a good listener. No way. That's crazy. I agree with you. Tell me more about that. How did that make you feel? Is that really that great? You know, just things like that. I'm not focused on talking about myself. I'm focused on learning about them. When other people feel you are genuinely interested in learning about them, it makes them feel important and valued and understood. And then they associate all those positive feelings with you. And it makes them respect you. And number 8, keep your word. I know for me, one of the quickest ways for me to stop respecting a person is they tell me they're going to do something and I organize my schedule and I organize my life and I move things around and I organize my expectations around what that person said they were going to do. And then when it comes time, guess what? The person's not there and they're not doing what they said they were going to do. Now they just wasted my time. That is the quickest way to get me to quit. And this isn't about me, but it works with other people too. When you don't do what you say you're going to do, when you don't follow through with your commitments, other people organize their life around you saying you're going to do something. And when you don't follow through with the commitment and you don't keep your word, you are somehow in some way disrupting another person's life because they set their expectations. They're like, oh, well, I can take my mind off of this thing because Bob said he's going to take care of it. And then they go and do this thing. And later on they come back and they're like, huh, what? Bob didn't do that thing. And they're like, okay, now I got to stop everything I'm doing. And I got to go back and do this thing that Bob said he was going to do. And he didn't do it. When you don't keep your word to people, you piss them off, you disappoint them, they can't trust you, they can't depend on you, they see you as unreliable, it's disrespectful, it's rude, it's impolite, it's discourteous, it's a lot of things. Keeping your word to other people is a form of self-discipline. It's a sign of respect to the other person. You have to first respect other people to get them to respect you. If you tell people you're going to do something, you have to keep your word to them if you want them to feel confidence in you and respect for you and for them to trust you and see you as reliable. And there's a lot of people today that their word means nothing. Oh, yeah, sure, I'll be there, I'll do that. And they don't even think ahead. They don't even think ahead that, oh, I told this other person I'm going to do this, so that means this person's going to do this, this, and that. And then if I don't show up, I am going to burden that person with my lack of discipline in keeping my word, with my lack of giving a shit about keeping my word. So when you don't keep your word, it means that the way you feel and what you want is more important than everyone else around you. And when people get the idea that you think you and whatever your agenda is and is more important than everybody else, you lose their respect right off the bat. They're not going to trust you again, and they're always going to be suspicious of you forever because of one time you said you're going to do something and you didn't do it. So it's very, very important. Keep your commitments and keep your word to other people. I'm sure there are more ways to get people's respect, but for now, these 8 are very, very big ones. They work for me in my life. They work 100% of the time. I know very, very successful people who are assholes to everybody. And then I come along and I call them or I hang out with them, and they are just as polite as can be to me. And it's because I use these things in my personal life to interact with everybody. You can use them with your children, you can use them with everybody. And your social life and your communication and interactions with other people is going to dramatically improve. So let's go over them again. 8 ways to get people to respect you quickly and easily. Number 1, be polite and respectful first. Number 2, always remain calm and composed. When people see you can't keep your shit together, they're not going to respect you. Number 3, don't look and sound weak. When people feel they can take advantage of you or you can't keep it together or you're just a weak person, they're going to be like, what use do I have for this wimp over here who just can't keep it together and they just don't have a backbone. Number 4, get on the same page and be a team player. When a group of people feel that you are not on the same page as them and you think you're better than them and you don't have to do what they're doing, you are not going to get their respect. And as a group, they are not going to like you. They're going to get together as a group and be like, F that guy. Number 5, don't act stuck up or too good. This is an automatic turnoff. It creates an automatic disconnect. When you act stuck up or too good for a person or a group of people, it's always going to have the same effect on them. They're going to automatically go from positive to negative. They're going to go from neutral opinion about you to negative opinion about you. I don't like this person. And when people don't like you, they don't respect you. Don't give anyone ammo. If you know missing work, being late to work, not keeping your word, not keeping your commitments, not doing your job right, letting people down, being unreliable, being undependable, if you know that that gives people ammo to have negative feelings about you, to not like you, to not respect you, to not want to have to deal with you, if you know that it makes people feel that way, then don't do it. I know I say you shouldn't care what people think, but when it comes to these particular things, their opinion of you is tied to the respect they have to you. And that respect is tied to the things they are willing to do for you and give to you and willing to stick their neck out on the line. When they respect you, they will go to the end of the earth to help you. And you need people in your life to help you get to where you're going, to make your life easier. Number 7, make them feel more important by listening. Instead of being all about yourself and wanting everybody to know everything about you, make the other person feel important and valued and understood, and get their trust and make them feel that you're their friend and you genuinely care about them. You genuinely care about listening to them, and you genuinely care about listening to them and wanting to hear about them and being part of their life, or at least being on the same page with them. When people feel that way, there's no word to describe how much respect they feel for you, because 95% of people don't understand this concept, life-changing concept. When you interact with other people, do your very best to be about them and not about yourself. And it's not in a kiss-ass way. It's in an intelligent way, because there is a very real effect that comes along with it. And number 8, keep your word. When you tell people you're going to do things, do it. Keep your commitments. When you say you're going to be there, be there. When you say you're going to do this thing, do it. Don't let people down. Don't introduce those negative components into your relationship with that person by being unreliable and undependable and untrustworthy. Your word is one of the strongest things you have. It's the thing that separates you from everybody else. If 90% of people don't keep their word and you do, the opportunities are just endless. The loyalty that people have to you and the respect they have for you, again, there's just no way to measure it. That's how important keeping your word is to people. People have to be able to trust you and depend on you. In order for you to get what you want from other people, you have to first give them what they want. So, like I said, I don't have a lot of problems in my life as of now with people respecting me, and that's because I use these 8 things when interacting with everybody I know, and I do my very best to make sure I show people respect first in order for me to get it in return. I hope these 8 things help you in your interactions with everyone you know.